Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Rhie, and I work at Bureau Happold. My day job is being an urban planning and sustainability consultant. And for the past several months, I've also been spearheading our firm's racial equity working group, which is an ad hoc entity that sprang to life as the firm was grappling with how to move from being not racist to actively anti-racist. And tonight I'll be telling the story of our bottom-up effort, including some pretty uncomfortable conversations that, quite frankly, have rocked our British and American engineering firm over the past year. Okay, we can get to the slides. So first I wanted to share how I came to this work. My mother's family arrived in LA in the 1970s as part of a wave of Korean immigration. Her family of five was squeezed into a one-bedroom apartment in Koreatown, a neighborhood that was and continues to be one of the most park-poor areas in the country. And later, when she was pregnant with me, my mom would move to semi-rural Connecticut, where my father had accepted a job. And my own childhood looked something like the image on the right, and I was ridiculously fortunate to play in the woods almost every day. I wish every child could have access to nature, and this is part of what drives my work. And whether it's contributing to fair housing conversations in New York or countywide sustainability in LA, I've sought to center historically impacted communities through this work. And anyway, I acknowledge that part of the reason I get to work on such amazing projects is having the backing of an international engineering firm. But I also have to question how my place of employment enables and/or benefits from systemic racism. And so, building upon Robin's earlier slide, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Bureau Happold's ownership. This past summer, as corporations were scrambling to issue public anti-racism statements, I offered to help write ours and was immediately caught in the middle of a swirling debate. Many of our employees were angry that the company had not acted sooner. But privately, a lot of people told me that any commitments around training, hiring, and mentorship would be completely meaningless if Bureau Happold did not address the ownership of the company. On this next slide, I'm going to show you the founding partners of Bureau Happold. Notice anything? That's Ted Happold on the bottom right, a structural engineer and professor at the University of Bath. As company legend tells it, Ted formed this company in order to form closer relationships between design and engineering. But the point of this is that the founding partnership was pretty homogenous. And in 2020, while the neckties were gone, the makeup of the partnership was not that different. It was almost entirely white men. So what impact does this have for an organization? Well, when we polled our employees on how we were doing on a scale from monocultural to multicultural, the employees gave a rating of 3 out of 6, and the partners a 3.5. It's not leagues apart, but it is a marked difference. When you have a select group of 50 partners making decisions for a 2,000-person company, the sense of urgency around retention, recruiting, training, and promotions can be markedly different. And why might a young professional of color choose to stick with Bureau Happold if they can so clearly see that glass ceiling? However, I do have some encouraging news. Just last week, the firm announced 17 new partners across the practice whose demographics better match those of the firm at large. I'm delighted for my colleagues, many of whom have chosen to stick it out through uncertain times and uncertain futures. Yasmin is here on the call from New York. We're really excited for Yasmin and to have her leadership at the ownership level. But I want to be clear in saying that Bureau Happold's work is not yet finished, that we have a very long way to go in terms of becoming a truly multicultural organization. However, I think it's an important step, and that we're in an age when calling out the elephant in the room can, in fact, bring about change. Thank you.